Okay, so start with yeah. So I know I have observed you as a person.
Okay.
So I just wanted to know how different you are to people who are your own, like you know them very well and you're close friends, and how different you are to people who are very new to you or stranger or you barely know them. How you're different as a person.
I think that requires a bit of admittance of duality, which I don't think that I have. Um, I'm not really different to anybody. I think I'm only different when I'm by myself.
Okay.
Yeah, because then I'm free to be who I am. I'm genuinely I like my own company more than anybody else's, so that's where I can be myself. When I'm with people, I'm mostly careful. I'm very receptive, I think. I like to think that. I like to ensure that people feel safe at any time, and they should feel validated to say anything and express themselves. And if they're wrong, I always tell them, whether it's my mother, my brother, or my students, I always tell them that
That
they are
means
incorrect
that means
about something.
you're not inclined towards anybody. You are your
Not really, no. Yeah.
okay. So you are no.
No, for the longest time I've just been by myself, so I like it.
Why teaching as a career? You are so good at communication. You can like join any company as a in an MNC. You can earn a lot. Why teaching as a
Yeah, I
career?
appreciate that.
Why?
I think I kind of fell into it. I was destined to be a teacher. I come from a long line of academicians. A lot of the people in my family have been teachers and principals and headmasters and whatever. And I grew up just from when I was very little. Whenever I was in India, I was always involved in some sort of a classroom activity. And I really loved the idea of having people listen to me. I have a bit of a complex where I like being the center of attention, which is no secret at all. And yeah, so and I discovered that I really enjoyed it. And I think today, um, of all the years that I've been alive, it's so important to set people right. There's so much change happening on a social platform today. People are discovering that racism and sexism and things like that are actual problems. And I get to stand in in a position of a bit of authority and set them straight. So that's a bit of a privilege that I say that
To
I
be a
have.
teacher?
Yeah.
I mean, you can be a motivational speaker. For
I
that,
don't want to be. That's too presumptuous. Like, why the fuck would anybody listen to me? You know.
oh,
Yeah. Sorry, excuse me. Yes, Kriti.
I had a small question.
Yes.
So, when we say
In
pre-interview
positive,
chat,
you like.
yeah.
when we say pre-interview chat, and in the end we say putting up conversation,
Yeah.
is it chatting and then putting the same questions in and maybe the same?
Yes, but more formal and more controlled.
But I already know that.
That's okay. Doesn't matter. You're doing it for the others now. Yeah, you're doing it for the journalistic purpose now.
How do I put it in a formal line?
I will share some handouts and I will tell you more about it tomorrow before the transcription begins. Today your job is to record it.
I have to record, I just,
See, that's what I mean. You have to record the interview in a formal way.
we just had a pre-interview chat and we just got to know each other because we know each other and we have to make each other comfortable.
So now you have to record the interview with the 5-6 questions and some follow-up.
Right question.
So we discussed that we'll prepare the questions at home and then probably we'll conduct the
You
interview.
can do it tomorrow. Just record it.
Even though I know the answer, say that putting it forward.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. I think just leave now the teaching part. What else you like about like? What else you do apart from teaching? I wanted to know like what interests you. What are your hobbies?
Okay.
And how you make yourself feel happy and you feel yourself like how you make yourself feel good and everything. Apart
Okay.
from being like
For the longest time, my pleasures came from, being social. I think coming from a very, Western idea of being a young person. When I came back here, I wanted to date. I dated a lot. I was a serial dater. I was never single. Like I can't remember my 20s. They were just like blur of men, which was fun also. And I had jobs which kept me busy. So it was like a really wonderful time. Then suddenly something changed and I became more insular. And for another period, it was more about finding, my actual passions that will be enduring for the rest of my life. And I thought about that, became interested more in animals than I ever had been, and started pursuing that. Lately, though, after my mental health issue crises and the fact that I developed severe anxiety and all, so I had to find ways to also calm myself down beyond the medical. And that's when I discovered miniature DIY, which is what I do. I build tiny little models of houses and things like that. I buy the kits online and then I spend hours creating them, and then I post videos online. So that's something that has given me a lot of pleasure lately.
Oh. How was your childhood different than the childhood you want to give yourself now?
Oh, it's a good question. I have no answer to that.
Why?
I only have fond memories of my childhood. I loved everything about it. I wouldn't change anything for the world. It was perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, everything that I am today is so strongly influenced by who I was with and how I grew up. So I wouldn't change anything.
Okay. So let's come to a topic which is English.
Okay.
You are so good at it.
Thank you.
Are a very good speaker, I must say. How you developed that? Was that inbuilt or something like that, or you literally prep yourself for that? How you literally I don't have that talent to I am a kind of a person who can't hold my horses. I am a person without filter and I just speak wrongly and everything. How you as a person have that language hold in yourself? How you live? How, because we keep on learning each and every day. How you prepare yourself as well? How you?
I don't actually prepare. I think honestly I don't know. I've only heard from people that I'm very good, so I believe them because it's a great thing to hear that I'm very good. Okay, good. But I haven't really done anything to become who I am. I think it's got to do with just my background, my education. I've been reading for all my life, so that must have had an impact. You take some input and then output comes out automatically. It's like a pasta machine. So that's a big influence. I did also grow up on a very healthy dose of Hollywood. So yeah, it inserts itself into your language without you realizing it.
Okay.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't know. I mean, I don't really prep for speaking.
Yeah. Last but not the least, are you afraid of being judged? Are you afraid that you'll be lost in crowd? Are you okay to answer that?
What do you think?
I don't think that you are, but I want you to answer it in your way.
Okay. Well, thank you for asking me. I know that that's a question that can have a lot of different versions, and and I don't anymore understand the meaning of the word judge. I used to at one point in time. I'm sure when I was a teenager, I was aware. But even then, I remember just not really being affected by anything, and that has zero things to do with me. It's got to do with my family. They brought me up with a kind of unfailing self-confidence and the foundation of being my own person, that I never had to think and look at other people and say, oh, if they validate me, that's when I'm going to feel like myself. I never had that. So as cocky as it sounds, and I do apologize for that, but I think the only person that I need to please every day is myself. So I really,
I'm motivated.
I'm
Thank you
glad.
so much for your time.
Thank you for asking me such amazing questions. That's a really good interview.
Seriously?
Yes.
I was actually. I can just stop it now.